Isn't it heartbreaking to see something that you love so much, that you poured so much time and energy in, only to be destroyed? As a father, there's been no greater investment that I've made other than my family, my wife, my children. I've poured everything I am into my children, and I love it. It's my joy. And if I'm honest with you, that's what also freaks me out about parenting. I've taught my boys how to ride bikes. I've taught them how to swim. I've taught them how to throw a ball. I've introduced them to Jesus. I've taught them martial arts, how to defend themselves, how to stand up for themselves. I've poured so much into the lives of my children. And here's the reality. As parents, we care so much about the well-being, the success, the prosperity of our children. And I think that this is what concerns us, that someone or something will enter into our child's life and pull away everything we've worked so hard to invest into them. You may want to rethink everything about your parenting strategy after watching this video.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the beautiful breakdown. And right now, you're with your Spidey.
Hey, it's breakdown with the boys.
Breakdown with, AKA me and Da Boys. You gotta add that.
All right, fellas, let's go. Let's jump on into this so we can give some parents some value. All right. Anyway, I love these children. But glory be to God. Somebody in this place. Glory be to God. Nathaniel, read Proverbs chapter 1, verse 10 for me, please.
My son, if sinners entice you, don't be persuaded.
All right, pause. Now, we have to deal with this word entice, because I'm going to be honest. As a parent, one of the fears that I have in parenting you is the fact that someone who doesn't have your best interest at heart, someone who doesn't love you, someone who doesn't care for you, will try to pull you away from us, your mother, your father, the values that we've instilled into you. So I want to ask you guys, what do you believe the meaning of entice is? Is that what you were trying to ask? Okay, what does entice mean to you?
Entice means you're being tempted to do something. Oh, I thought it was discernment.
Okay, you're being tempted to do something. And also, too, before we get there, he says, if sinners entice you, and we talk about sin quite often in our family. What is sin in your own words? Go ahead, Josiah.
To miss the mark.
The word sin, it means to miss the mark, to miss the intended target, to miss the standard. So God has a standard for our lives and our lifestyles. What is God asking of us? Is he asking us to live a lifestyle that is detrimental to us or harmful to us?
No.
So he says, if sinners entice you, and we understand what entice means. It means to try to pull you away, try to lure you into something that probably wouldn't be for your good, right? Look at what he says next. He says, if sinners entice you, don't be persuaded. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Here's where the concern comes in for us as parents. Someone who doesn't have your best interests at heart, who isn't really a good individual, persuading you in such a way where you will follow them before you will follow us. What do you think persuaded means to you?
I think persuaded means like tempted to do something, but instead of like being tempted, you actually do it.
Now, there's another word. It starts with an I, and the next letter is N. And the next letter is F.
Fear?
Influence.
Oh, influence.
Right? So to be persuaded means that someone comes into your life and they have a strong influence in your life, and that influence pulls you away from what is intended to be the best for you and from what is intended to be good for you. So I want to ask you, why do you think it's so important that you are careful of who is persuading you?
Because it could be, like Nathaniel said a few videos ago, it could be the devil in disguise.
Right? It could be like what Solomon is saying. It could be someone trying to persuade you to do something wrong. Josiah, what would you say?
Because if someone like influences you, you can start doing the same thing as them. And if they're like a bad person or they have bad habits, you can start to pick them up too.
All right, so let's look at verse 11.
It says, when they say, come with us, let's set up a deadly ambush. It's secretly waiting for the innocent just for fun.
All right, now let's break this down. Notice what they say. Come with us. The question we need to ask if we're going to be wise is we need to ask, well, where are we going? If you have a group of friends and they come to you and they say, hey, man, come with us to go rob this bank. Where are they trying to take you?
To rob the bank.
To jail? What else?
To go rob the bank.
To rob the bank. But what is on that path that would be destructive to your life if you go with them? Eli said jail.
Yeah, you could go to jail for like a long time, or you could go to court and like lose a lot of your belongings and stuff.
Go ahead, Eli.
Since you didn't use discernment that time, you could never be able to use it because you're influenced all the time to do bad things and you never use discernment.
Go ahead, Nathaniel.
If someone asks me to go rob the bank and I had to use discernment, like in the other videos you said spidey senses, like that.
Yeah, use your discernment, right? So I'm going to be honest, like as a parent, this is something that I feel like I'm preparing you for. As a father, I feel like I'm preparing you for these moments when people who do not have your best interests at heart come into your life. And it's enticing, meaning like, man, that looks interesting. That looks like something that I might want to, know more about, discover more about. But I feel like as a father, I want to prepare you for this moment that when those people cross your path and they say, come with us, I want you to start asking the question, where are we going? Are we going in the direction my Father is raising me to go? Are we going in the direction that my Lord Jesus desires for me to go? Because notice what he says. Let's go set up an ambush and go hurt some people. Let's go do this for fun. So it may not be some negative people come into your life and they're trying to go out and really hurt people, but it may mean that the lifestyle that they're encouraging you to engage in is going to be hurtful to people.
Like if like using Daddy's example, if you were to go rob the bank, you would be going on a bad path. And I'm not saying it's impossible to get on the right path again, but it's hard for most people, or just hard in general, to get back on the right path.
Yeah, and it's funny that you mentioned the word path, because that's exactly what I want to emphasize as we continue to read. Now, notice what they say. We want to do this just for fun. These type of people are self-centered. All they care about is themselves and what makes them happy. They don't care about that maybe what I'm doing is destructive, it's hurting other people. But hey, if I'm having fun, if it's making me happy, I don't really care. So these are the type of people, and these are the cues, guys, that you need to be listening for. Now, if you hear somebody say, hey man, come, let's go over here and go serve these people. Hey, come, let's go over here and help these people. That should be indicators like, oh man, these people are selfless. These people actually want to go help some people. They're not interested in hurting people. Hey man, let's go drink until we pass out. Hey man, let's go do these drugs. Oh man, that's not going to be good for me. And that's not going to be good for us. Wait a minute. Is this a path that I really want to go down? Is this a path that I really want to follow? And parents, I'm going to encourage you because I know you're just like me. This is something that we all kind of, we pray about, we worry about, we talk to other parents about. These moments like this is how I believe we can at least begin to prepare our children for what's out there waiting for them. Notice these young people are waiting to entice, to persuade, and to say, come with us, and to pull our children away from the values and the principles and even the relationship that we have with them, that we foster with them. We spent so much time, energy, money pouring into our children only to have some people come into their lives and say, come with us, and pull them away from us. Let me keep going, fellas. Let's read verse 12.
It says, let us swallow them alive like death, as those who go down to the grave. My translation is crazy. That's it. That's verse 12.
My translation.
Hold on. Let Josiah read verse 13.
We will find all kinds of things of great worth. We will fill our houses with the stolen riches. Throw in your share with us. We will all have one money bag.
This is what I want to emphasize to you, fellas, and I need you to hear me. The people that come into your life are not just people, but they are a path. Every friend you choose is not just a friend, but they are a path that will lead you somewhere in your future. When I met some of the people in my life, I almost lost my life because of some of the friendships that I had. I almost lost my future. You wouldn't be here because of some of the relationships that I had. They were not just friends, they were a path. I have awesome people in my life. You guys, name some of the people in my life that you know are a good path for me to be on. Just throw them out there.
Uncle
Sheun,
Dante,
Uncle Dante,
Lewis,
Uncle Lewis,
Mom, Auntie.
right? All of these people, you trust me to be with them, right? You trust me to have relationship with them because you know these people will lead me down a good path, and they will also lead you down a good path, right? Somebody read verse 17 for me.
It is useless to spread a net where any bird can see it, but they set an ambush to kill themselves. They attack their own lives. Such are the paths of all who make profit dishonestly.
Yep.
It takes the lives of those who receive it.
All right, now let's break this down. Now notice he says these people set an ambush, meaning these people are planning. Their intentions are not good in terms of how they want to treat people. So if they're not treating people well, do you think they're ultimately going to treat you well?
No.
And he says that as they set traps for other people, they don't even understand traps are being set for them. That as they seek to destroy other people, destruction is right behind them. So he's warning us, he's counseling us with this wisdom that, hey, these type of people, you want to stay away from them. As they set traps to hurt other people, they don't even realize traps are being set for them to be hurt. And fellas, and I'm gonna be honest with you, this is what keeps parents up at night. Trusting that our children will make the right decisions about their destiny. And one of the most important decisions you can make about your destiny is who you choose to be your friends. Absolutely following Jesus. But if you have friends that are pulling you away from Jesus, do you think it's going to be easier to follow Jesus or harder?
Harder.
Because your friends, they were pulling you away from Jesus, and then until you met Uncle Sheun, he became like your actual friend.
Mm-hmm. And do you think my life became richer because of Uncle Sheun?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm a better man because of Uncle Sheun. I have a better marriage because of Uncle Sheun. So Uncle Sheun wasn't just a random person that entered into my life. He became a path that when he said, come with me, like, yo, let's be homies, my life became better for it.
Tips for making friends, like when you meet someone, yeah, you want to have a good impression, but you should probably like study them and like how they talk, the way you act, and that's how you know if they're like actual best friends or just like friends, or if they're gonna lead you to the right path or not.
But like the way that Josiah said, like study them and like the way that they talk and how they do things, if they're like doing the right thing.
We have to have friends that are enticing, well, not like are enticing, like that entice you, but entice you to do like good things. And like if you're a Christian, just like try it, have Christian friends. And even if you like aren't a Christian, if you aren't like any really religion, still try to have Christian friends, because it could lead you to faith.
So parents, based on what we talked about, here are 3 things that we can start doing today to prepare our children for what lies ahead of them in these types of encounters that they will have. Number 1 is this: prepare your children for the paths that will present themselves. Number 2 is give your children clarity on the consequences of their choices. We want them to understand the consequences of you choosing right friends will be a rich life, a successful life, a faithful life, a good life. The consequences of choosing negative people in your life, hey, it's going to be destruction. It's going to be heartache. It's going to be depression and despair. The third thing I want to encourage you with is this: persuade your children to choose Christ. This is the most important thing we could possibly do. Last night, I took my son to a concert, and in the middle of the concert, not in the middle, but towards the end of the concert, they offered a call for salvation. Now, I know my son already walks with Jesus. He knows Jesus. He loves Jesus. But that night, he made a conscious decision for himself that, I want to pray this prayer. I want to choose this lifestyle. And so the more we can cultivate environments for our children to choose Christ, we are setting them up to avoid what we all fear most, which are people coming into their life and pulling them away from us into destruction. And lastly, parents, I want to encourage you with this. It's possible. It's possible to prepare our children for what lies ahead of them. It's possible to cultivate relationships and conversations with our children that will protect them from people who mean them harm, by pulling them away from the values and the principles and the love that you've poured into them. Parents aren't the most dominant influence in our children's lives, then someone else will be. And it's my goal, fellas, and I'm gonna tell y'all straight up, it's my goal that there's not a man that loves you more than me and that has more influence in your life more than me. I know someday you guys will grow up and daddy, you're going to see daddy differently, but I hope and pray that no matter what, I will always be somebody in your life that you want to trust and that you want to walk with and that you want to talk with. All right, fellas? So parents, you have hope. And why do you have hope? Because you have Jesus. Give your kids the Lord Jesus. Prepare your children for what lies ahead. And guess what? It is well. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in to the beautiful breakdown.
Oh, don't forget to smash that like button and hit the notification.
Do it with your hands. Y'all look so lame. My children, I'm cool. My children should try to be like me, shouldn't you?
But you talk with your hands.
I do talk with our hands, but my hands with y'all are weird.
Don't forget. Don't forget.
All right, tell them real quick what they need to do.
Don't forget to hit the notification bell.
Notification bell.
Like
button.
and subscribe.
One tip for kids: obey so you don't get your butt tested.
All right, guys, it's the beautiful breakdown, and we're out, or we're never going to end the show. So we love you.
Stay Gucci.